A 15-year-old girl was watering flowers in her friend's front yard. A man pulled up, pointed a gun at her, forced her into his car. For the next 18 hours, she was held captive by a serial killer. But she didn't panic. She watched. She waited. And when the moment came, she escaped. This is the true story of Cara Robinson. This is a true crime story. It involves kidnapping, captivity, and violence. But it's also a story about survival, courage, and how one teenager's quick thinking not only saved her own life, but helped solve multiple murders. This happened in 2002, and the lessons Cara Robinson learned that day are lessons that could save your life too. Let's get into it. June 24th, 2002, Columbia, South Carolina. Cara Robinson was 15 years old. She was spending the day at her friend's house. It was a normal summer day. Sunny, quiet, safe. Around 3 p.m., Cara's friend went inside to take a nap. Cara stayed outside. She was watering the plants in the front yard. Just a normal teenage girl doing a normal afternoon chore. And then a car pulled up. A man got out. He was in his late 30s. Average height, average build. Nothing about him stood out. He walked toward Cara. He was holding something. At first, she thought it was a water gun. Some kind of toy. It wasn't. It was a real gun, and he was pointing it at her. He didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He spoke calmly. He said, "Don't scream. Don't make a sound. Get in the car." Cara froze. Her mind was racing. Should she scream? Should she run? But she was 15. He had a gun, and he was between her and the front door. She got in the car. The man drove away. And just like that, Cara Robinson was gone. The man drove for about an hour. He didn't speak much. Cara didn't either. She was terrified. But she wasn't panicking. She was thinking. She had read somewhere, maybe in a book, maybe online, that if you're ever kidnapped, you should try to humanize yourself. Make the kidnapper see you as a person, not just a victim. So Cara started talking. She asked him questions, simple things. "What's your name? Where are we going?" She told him about herself, her family, her school. She was calm, polite. She didn't cry, she didn't beg. She just talked. And he responded. He told her his name was Richard. He said he wasn't going to hurt her. He said he just needed her to come with him for a little while. Cara didn't believe him, but she played along. They arrived at a house. It was remote, isolated. He led her inside, and then he took her to a backyard shed. Inside that shed was a large plastic storage container, the kind you'd use to store tools or camping gear. He told her to get inside. The container was dark, cramped. There were holes drilled in the sides for air. Cara realized this wasn't the first time he'd done this. This container had been prepared. He had done this before. He closed the lid, and Cara was alone in the darkness. Cara could have given up. She could have panicked. She could have screamed and cried and waited for the worst. But she didn't. Instead, she started memorizing. She noticed everything. The container had a brand name on it. She memorized it. The shed had a specific smell, mildew and chemicals. She noted it. When the man came back and brought her inside the house, she looked at everything. The furniture, the layout, the pictures on the wall, a decorative sword hanging above the fireplace. She memorized all of it. She also paid attention to him, his voice, his mannerisms, what he said, how he said it. She knew that if she survived, these details would matter. Hours passed. The man kept her in the house. He didn't let her leave. He restrained her wrists and ankles. But he also talked to her. He made food. He acted almost normal. like this was just a regular day. But Kara knew it wasn't. She knew she was in danger, and she knew she had to escape. The question was, when? Around 3 a.m., 12 hours after she was taken, the man fell asleep. Kara had been awake the entire time, watching, waiting. She knew this was her chance. Her wrists and ankles were bound, but not tightly. She worked at the restraints, slowly, quietly. It took time, but eventually she got free. She stood up. The man was asleep in another room. The house was dark. Kara moved carefully. She didn't run. She didn't make noise. She just moved. She found the front door. It was unlocked. She opened it, stepped outside, and ran. She ran barefoot down the driveway, down the street. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know which direction to go. She just ran until she found a house with lights on. She pounded on the door. A woman answered. Kara was crying now, shaking. She said, "Please help me. I've been kidnapped. Call the police." The woman let her in, called 911, and within minutes, police were on their way. When police arrived, Kara told them everything. She described the man, the car, the house. She gave them details most kidnapping victims wouldn't remember. The brand of the container, the layout of the rooms, the sword on the wall. Police used her descriptions to track down the house. They found it, and they found him. Richard Evonitz. Richard Evonitz was a 38-year-old man with no prior convictions. On the surface, he seemed normal. But when police searched his house, they found disturbing evidence. Photographs, newspaper clippings, and items that didn't belong to him. Further investigation revealed the horrifying truth. Richard Evonitz was a serial killer. He was responsible for the murders of 3 young girls in Virginia in the 1990s. The Sophia Silva case in 1996. The Kristen and Katty Lisk sisters in 1997. All 3 had been kidnapped, murdered, and their cases had gone unsolved for years. But Kara's escape and the details she provided gave police the break they needed. They connected Evonitz to those murders. 2 days after Kara escaped, police tracked Evonitz to Florida. When they tried to apprehend him, he shot himself. He died before he could be brought to justice. But because of Kara, the families of those 3 girls finally had answers. Kara Robinson survived. But survival wasn't easy. She had been through a trauma most people can't imagine. She had nightmares. She had fear. But she also had something else. Strength. In the years after her escape, Kara spoke publicly about what happened. She wanted people to know that survival is possible. That even in the worst situations, your mind can be your greatest weapon. She emphasized the tactics she used. Staying calm, humanizing herself, memorizing details, and waiting for the right moment. She said those strategies saved her life. Today, Kara Robinson Chamberlain is a motivational speaker. She works with law enforcement and advocates for victims of abduction. She's married, has a family, and has rebuilt her life. But she never forgot what happened. And she never stopped using her story to help others. In her own words, "I didn't just survive, I fought, and I want other people to know that they can fight too." Kara Robinson's story is a reminder that survival isn't about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about being smart. It's about staying calm when everything inside you is screaming. It's about watching, waiting, and acting when the moment is right. If this story moved you, let me know in the comments. And if you ever find yourself in danger, remember Kara's tactics. Stay calm, memorize details, humanize yourself, and wait for your moment. Subscribe for more true crime stories. And remember, your mind is your greatest weapon. Thanks for watching.